Question 1. Pick a company, organization that you would be interested in working for and explain why you would like to work for them. Explain how your values and beliefs are aligned to the company's culture, mission, and vision.
If I could choose a company to work for, I would choose First News Medical Care. I had the opportunity to intern with the company this summer in its marketing department in Beijing, and that experience truly changed how I view the connection between business and healthcare. One of my responsibilities was attending client meetings with my supervisor. I observed how the company communicated with hospitals and nutrition experts about their kidney care nutrition products. But more than just product details, I noticed something deeper. Everyone I worked with carried a strong sense of responsibility toward the patients. In one meeting, the client shared that many local patients struggle with appetite loss during dialysis. Instead of pushing the standard product line, our team discussed how we could adapt flavors and formats to better suit Chinese tastes. The moment showed me that Freeze News doesn't just sell, it listens. The company combines global experts with cultural sensitivity and genuine care for patient well-being. What impressed me the most was how deeply the company lives its mission to improve the quality of life for people with chronic kidney disease. It wasn't just a slogan, it's something I saw reflected in every decision and conversation. This aligns strongly with my own values. I believe business should be human-centered and purpose-driven, creating real impact beyond just profit. Also, as someone who values empathy, collaboration, and global thinking, I see myself growing in a company like First News. By combining my communication skills, cultural awareness, and passion for improving lives, I believe I can contribute to the company's mission in a meaningful way.
Question 2. Based on your personal brand, what are three things that you can promise to deliver to the company, organization you want to work for? Provide evidence that you can deliver on your promises.
Based on my personal brand, there are 3 things I can promise to deliver to a company like First News: cross-cultural communication, strong personal responsibility, and a deep commitment to helping others. First, I bring strong cross-cultural communication skills. Having grown up in both China and Canada, and later founding the multicultural club at my high school, I've always found purpose in connecting people from different backgrounds. I organized cultural events and workshops that engaged over 200 students and helped foster a respectful, inclusive environment. That experience taught me how to listen carefully, adapt my communication, and create shared understanding, which are the skills that are essential in any global company. Second, I take ownership and deliver. When I joined a junior achievement, I worked with a team to launch a small business called In the Clear. I took on the role of marketing and website lead. Even though I have never built a website before, I taught myself everything from scratch. Built an e-commerce platform and helped our team reach over $3,000 sales in just 1 month. I don't wait to be told what to do. I take initiative and follow through. Third, I truly care about helping others. At West Broadway Youth Outreach, I tutored more than 30 students in grades 4 to 10. I adapted my teaching style to meet each student's needs and built strong relationships that made them feel supported. Seeing their confidence grow was a powerful reminder of why I care so much about meaningful work that improves people's life, just like what First News does for patients. Together, these experiences reflect who I am, someone who communicates across cultures, takes responsibility seriously, and always puts people first. I'm confident that I can bring these strengths to a company like First News and contribute to its mission in a real way.
Question 3. Describe a stressful or emotional situation you have encountered and how you handled it.
One of the most stressful situations I've encountered happened during my internship at First News Medical Care this summer. I had only been with the marketing team for a short time. One morning, my supervisor told me, I would be joining a client meeting later that afternoon, and I'd be responsible for introducing part of our kidney nutrition product line. At that moment, I felt overwhelmed. I hadn't yet memorized all the technical product details, and the idea of speaking in front of healthcare professionals with much more experience than me was intimidating. I started doubting whether I could even do it without making mistakes. But instead of panicking, I took a deep breath and created a step by step plan. I spent the next few hours carefully reviewing product brochures and previous meeting notes. Then I reached out to another intern who had done a similar task before, and she helped me to understand how to present the information more clearly and concise. I also looked through older presentation slides to understand the structure and tone expected. Finally, I rehearsed my part multiple times to build confidence. By the time the meeting started, I was still nervous, but I was prepared. I introduced the product section smoothly and even answered a few follow-up questions. After the meeting, my supervisor thanked me and said he appreciated how I handled the pressure. That experience taught me how to manage emotions under stress by staying focused and using the resources around me. It also reminded me the confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being prepared.
Question 4. Describe a situation where you had to collaborate with a teammate, coworker, classmate who was difficult to work with. How did you resolve it?
Back in high school, I founded the Multicultural Club, and one of our biggest events was the Cultural Week celebration. I led a team of volunteers to organize performances, food booths, and interactive workshops. But one teammate became really difficult to work with. He often missed the meetings, didn't respond to group messages, and failed to complete his assigned tasks. At first, I felt frustrated. It feels like he wasn't taking it seriously, and other team members started complaining. But instead of confronting him in the group chat, I asked to meet him privately. During our conversation, he opened up and told me that he was under a lot of pressure from his parents, who expected him to get into a top university. He was afraid to quit the club, but didn't have time to manage large tasks. I realized that he wasn't being irresponsible, he was just overwhelmed, so I reassigned his role to something more flexible. Instead of managing a full booth, he would help create digital posters and assist during setup and cleanup on the event day. These tasks require less time commitment, but still made a meaningful contribution. After that, his attitude completely changed. He followed through on his new responsibilities and even stayed late on the final day to help clean up. Our event went smoothly, and the team felt more connected. This experience taught me that when someone seems difficult, there's often a story behind it. By choosing empathy and collaboration over confrontation, I helped someone re engage with the team, and we all grow stronger as a result.
Question 5. Describe a time when you received constructive feedback. How did you respond to this feedback and what impact did it have on you?
During my internship at First News Medical Care, I was invited to contribute ideas for a new promotional strategy for a kidney nutrition product. It was one of the first times I was given creative responsibility, and I was excited to prove myself. I put together a draft plan that included several creative ideas, like launching a social media challenge, using short form videos, and building interactive online content. I thought it was fresh and engaging. However, when I presented it during a team meeting, my supervisor gave me some honest and constructive feedback. She told me that while the idea was interesting, it wasn't realistic for our target audience, which included doctors and caregivers of late stage kidney patients. The channels I suggested were not aligned with how these groups actually receive information, and the projected return on investment wasn't clear. At first, I was a little disappointed, but I realized this feedback wasn't personal. So I scheduled a follow up chat with our brand coordinator to better understand What makes a healthcare marketing plan effective? I also reviewed past campaigns and asked myself, what would be most useful to the people we are trying to help? I revised my proposal to focus on more practical and targeted strategy, educational webinars for healthcare professionals, printed materials for hospital partners, and a WeChat-based campaign to reach family caregivers. I also added a basic cost-benefit analysis to support the plan. My revised version was well received and ended up being included in the team's next quarter planning file. That experience completely shifted how I think about creativity. I learned that in a professional setting, good ideas are not just imaginative, they need to be actionable, audience focused, and result driven. And I'm now much more confident in how I respond to feedback and grow from it.